You're tired. You've been through more than you can explain. And while people see you walking, talking, working, posting, functioning, what they don't see is the pain behind your smile, the moments you've broken in silence, the times you've cried while driving home because you had to be strong in front of everyone else. You've encouraged others while secretly wondering if you would ever feel whole again. You've shown up for people who wouldn't even notice if you disappeared. And now, something inside you feels worn, heavy, hollow. You may be tired, but you are not finished. You are still here. That means your story isn't over. That means you still have purpose. That means God still sees something in you worth fighting for. Even when you can't see it yourself, you see tired. God sees potential. You see broken. God sees the beginning of something brand new. And even though you might not feel it right now, there is still power in you. Don't confuse exhaustion with extinction. Just because you feel depleted doesn't mean you're done. You are in transition. You are in refinement. The fire you're walking through isn't here to destroy you, it's here to reveal what couldn't be burned. There's something in you the storm couldn't kill, something the heartbreak couldn't take, something even betrayal couldn't remove. And that's something, it's the part of you that's still fighting, that's still breathing, that still believes even just a little that something better could still be ahead. People will judge your pace. They'll question your silence. They'll measure your value by your performance. But God, He knows what it took for you to get out of bed today. He knows how hard it is to carry invisible pain. He knows what it cost you to keep your faith when everything around you felt like failure. So don't wait for them to validate your process. Don't wait for applause. Sometimes the greatest battles happen in private hand. Still, you're standing. You don't need 100 chances. You just need one. One door, one moment, one shift. And it could happen at any time. That's why you can't quit. You can't give up here. Not because it doesn't hurt, but because this pain has a purpose. And even if you don't see it yet, you will look back and realize that this was the part that made you. Not the part that broke you, not the part that defined you, but the part that grew you. You've been through heartbreak. Good. Now you know how deep you can love. You've been disappointed. Good. Now you understand how to value what's real. You've been overlooked, underestimated, ignored. Good. Now you know that your worth doesn't come from being seen. It comes from knowing who you are even when no one else does. You are not for everyone, and that's okay. You weren't created to fit in. You were created to stand out, to be set apart, to rise out of what most people would have died in. And you will rise, not because you have all the answers, but because quitting is no longer an option. You may not be where you thought you'd be by now, but you are exactly where God can meet you, right in the middle of your confusion, in the middle of your fatigue, in the middle of your questioning. That's where the breakthrough begins. That's where the turning starts. That's where you say, I'm not going out like this. You don't have to move fast. You don't have to be loud. But you do have to decide. Decide to keep showing up. Decide to believe that your better days aren't behind you. Decide to speak life over yourself when no one else will. You don't need permission to get up. You don't need a crowd. You don't need perfect conditions. All you need is a flicker of faith. That's it, just a flicker. That flicker, if you protect it, will become a flame. That flame will become a fire. And that fire will become the thing that pushes you into your purpose. Let them doubt you. Let them walk away. Let them say you've changed. You didn't come this far to turn around now. You didn't cry all those tears just to die in this valley. You are tired, but you are not finished. You are drained, but you are not empty. There is still more in you. More joy, more peace, more love, more strength, more hope, and you will see it, not because it's easy, but because you didn't quit. You didn't quit. You've cried until your soul felt empty. You've given everything, and still it fell apart. You've tried to explain your pain, but the words never matched the weight. Some days, the hardest battle wasn't the enemy around you, it was the thoughts inside your own mind. The guilt, the confusion, the loneliness, the grief. You've carried disappointments that no one else even knows about. You've smiled in public and crumbled in private. And through it all, you've asked questions that burned like fire in your chest. Why me? Why now? What do I even have left? Let me speak directly to your spirit. You may have had a breakdown, but this is not where your story ends. Your comeback is being written right now. Every tear you cried was counted. Every heartbreak you endured is being redeemed. Every closed door was a setup for something greater. You thought the pain would bury you. You thought the loss was final. But God is about to use what crushed you to crown you. This is not a motivational slogan. This is not emotional hype. This is the divine strategy of heaven. The breakdown was never meant to destroy you, it was meant to expose what needed to be rebuilt. You see, when a structure is broken, it reveals its weaknesses, but it also reveals its foundation. And if your foundation is still intact, then your future is still possible. You are still standing. Maybe not the same version of you that entered the fire, but a stronger, smarter, deeper, more discerning, more God-dependent version of you is emerging from the ashes. Isaiah 61:3 declares that God gives beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, and the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. That's not poetry, that's prophecy. And if you've got ashes, mourning, and heaviness, then you're qualified for what comes next. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all together. You just need to breathe. You just need to keep going. Because heaven isn't waiting on you to be flawless. Heaven is waiting on you to say yes again. Yes to hope. Yes to healing. Yes to purpose. Yes to the God who still sees value in you, even when you feel broken beyond repair. Let me make something clear. You don't bounce back from everything quickly. Some losses require grieving. Some seasons leave scars. Some betrayals hit so deep they shake your identity. But hear me, scars don't mean you're broken. Scars mean you survived. The enemy thought you'd quit. He thought that last hit would take you out. But you're still here. That means your breath has purpose. That means your pain has power. That means your comeback is not just possible, it's already underway. You didn't lose your value because you went through something. You didn't lose your destiny because you fell apart for a moment. What you went through didn't disqualify. It developed you. It made you wiser. It made you softer in spirit and sharper in discernment. It taught you how to recognize fake love and appreciate real peace. It taught you the sound of God's voice in the silence. Romans 5:3-4 says, suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character, hope. That means the very thing you thought would kill your faith is actually building the next version of your strength. Don't compare your comeback to someone else's highlight reel. You are being rebuilt brick by brick, prayer by prayer, day by day. Some days you'll move fast, other days you'll crawl. And that's okay. Progress is still progress, even if it's not loud. Your healing doesn't have to look like someone else's. Your strength doesn't have to be measured by noise. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is keep going when everything inside you says stop. You're not a failure because you broke down. You're a fighter because you're getting up. And the best part, you're not getting up alone. God is standing with you. Psalm 46:1 says, God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. That means when it feels like no one understands, He does. When your heart is too heavy for words, He hears anyway. When you can't even pray for yourself, He's still interceding for you. This next season isn't about pretending to be strong. It's about trusting the one who is. It's not about rushing into performance, it's about rising into purpose. You don't need everyone to believe in you. Just believe that God didn't let you die in that storm because He still intends to use your survival as someone else's lifeline. Your testimony is being built in secret, but soon the very place you were broken will be the place you stand and say, this is where God met me. This is where He rebuilt me. This is where He loved me back to life. You will rise, not just to breathe, but to build joy again, to build trust again, to build dreams again. You will rise, not just to get by, but to thrive. You will rise, not just because you want to, but because you were born to. There is a calling on your name that cannot be revoked by pain. There is a purpose in your bones that disappointment can't erase. There is a destiny inside you that darkness can't cancel. Yes, you had a breakdown, but it's not the end. This is the part of your story where God steps in and flips the script. And when He does it, it won't just heal you, it will shock every voice that counted you out. Your next season will silence every lie. Your comeback will carry weight. You won't return to who you were, you'll become someone they've never seen before. So rise, wipe your tears, catch your breath, and don't apologize for the new strength rising in you. Because this time, it's not just about getting back what you lost. It's about stepping into everything you never even thought was possible.